Hello and welcome to another exciting episode of the Full Spectrum Podcast. My name is Trey.
I am Rungren.
We got some stuff to talk about tonight. I'm still in the process of fighting to keep my voice, so forgive me if it gets more hoarse throughout the podcast. But I'm kind of excited for tonight. I think I had to scrape to get some news because it's the week before Game Awards, so there's not much. But some of the news is really weird. So
Okay.
I'm stoked.
We shall see.
But before I get too much into the excitement of the news and everything, do we have a pop quiz tonight?
Absolutely. We have a pop quiz tonight.
Odd windowed game over your chat box?
I have no idea. No idea what that could be.
Is it Snake?
Let's see that. I'm pretty sure she would. Someone what? Some girl eating while she watched someone else play the game. Is that where we're going?
Could be an ad?
Okay.
I think it's F14. Okay,
Awesome.
well, there you go. Also, hello to all of chat. I did not say hi during the pre-show. We were having a good discussion.
All right. I'm gonna try this again. Here's the clue.
Okay.
For tonight, okay? What in the world?
Okay.
All right. Now you got the clue out of the way.
A mistake, Remus. You don't have to highlight it. I put pre-show again instead of pop quiz like an idiot.
Yes. I wouldn't want to blame you for wanting to cut these out.
See, this is why I asked to make sure you had that full release video, because I know I'm an idiot, and I want to make sure that I'm correct.
I'm good at all. All right. Okay. First question.
Okay.
All right. What country has a capital named after a U.S. president other than the United States, of course?
Okay.
Then it's not Final
Capital.
Fantasy 14.
Capital. I'm gonna say
What? You're going to say what, Trey?
is it? I don't actually know what the capital of Canada is. Is it Canada?
No, was no President Ontario.
Okay. Makes sense.
No, it's actually Liberia. The capital of Liberia is Monrovia, named after President Monroe.
Okay. Makes sense.
Yes, that's a big. Let me just make a big X right there.
See, I can be forgiven
Okay.
for thinking that the capital of Canada was Quebec, because that's what the people of Quebecois told me while I was there.
It might be. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up. You may want to look that up. All right, ready?
Yeah.
Question number 2. What is the smallest country in the world?
Sealand? I don't know if it's actually a country or if it's just a protectorate. I'm going to go with Sealand.
Okay. That's it. Faith, do I need to reread the question? The smallest country in the world is Vatican City.
Oh.
It has a population of less than 800, and it's 0.2 square miles.
Yeah, that makes
sense. Okay. Put a big X right there. Hold on.
That makes sense. I can't remember if Sealand's probably bigger than that anyway, though.
I don't even know where Sealand is.
It's off the coast of Portugal, I think. It's somebody was trying to make a country. They claimed an oil rig and declared it a country, and I don't know if it's
Oh,
actually
okay.
recognized as a country or not. I did not make it up, Remots.
Yeah, yeah. Um, that story location, everything else he told about the story, it was wrong, but I know where he was going with that. I actually do know what he was talking about. Yeah.
It's somewhere.
Okay. Do you recall a James Bond? It's not a question, by the way.
Disappointed indeed.
Do you know? Are you aware of the James Bond movie? On Her Majesty's Secret Service.
I've seen it once, yes, but it's been many
Okay, so
years.
the guy who played James Bond in that was his only James Bond that he played. He got fired for that. After that, because he went to that place you're talking about and partied there and missed some deadlines, and they were like, "Yeah, we're not dealing with this guy anymore."
Oof. I'd have been wrong about all of the information except the fact that it exists.
Right.
But at least I knew that.
Yes. There
Posture
you go.
check.
All right. What is the only U.S. state to border only one other state?
Maine.
That is correct, sir.
Boom.
Good check mark on that one.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good. What was the country of Iran formerly called?
I don't know.
Persia.
Okay. I was afraid of just throwing out guesses.
You did know.
Yeah.
And you didn't say it.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
But just because there technically there's more than one answer. Before it was known as Persia, it was known as Iran.
Yeah.
All right. What city? Right. What city is considered to be the undisputed belly dancing capital of the world? Undisputed.
Undisputed city.
Yeah, it's a city. It is the undisputed. No. No. That's not a city.
I want to make a guess, but I think the guess that I have is a country, not a city.
Okay.
Azerbaijan is a country, right?
Is that what you're going with?
That's what I'm going to go with, but I think it's wrong.
It was Cairo. Cairo,
Oh.
Egypt.
Okay. Well,
It's a big old X over here. That way I can bookend the one check mark you got.
yeah.
All right. So let's see.
Just clarify, Azerbaijan is a country.
There you go. That's like over and up from. Anyway.
Yep.
From where I was talking. What is the longest river in the world?
Is it the Yangtze?
Is that your answer?
That's what I'm going to go with. I don't think it's right, but it's a very long river.
Yeah, it is. It's not near as long as the Nile, which is the longest river in the world.
Yeah. It's a long. You and Remus both got that one, Faith.
Trail shoot. Ooh, dang, sir. Golly. What country's name comes first alphabetically speaking, alphabetically speaking? What country comes first?
I really want to say Azerbaijan, but I don't think that's right because it's AZ. AR Argentina. Is it Angola?
No. And it's not Albania.
Oh,
It's not Algeria either.
Yeah.
It's Afghanistan.
Of course it is. Of course it is.
Alaska's not a country. It's as big as one, but it's not one. I'm going through that. All right. Let's try moving on. Right. I'll put extras right there. So number eight. What is the only nation to have a single colored flag?
Single colored flag?
Yeah. Just one color.
I legitimately have no idea.
Okay, well, it's Libya.
Okay.
Flag is just big and green, just kind of solid.
There you go.
There you go. Okay.
A+ on geography in high school, by the way.
Oh, all right. Well, apparently they didn't hold up.
It's been a few years.
What country? You should get this. What country makes the most movies in the world?
Makes the most movies?
Yeah.
India.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Bollywood. There you go. You got that one. All right. Last question. What city is home to the tallest building in the world?
Oh, this has changed quite a few times over the years.
I don't believe it has in your lifetime.
And I'm thinking of wrong buildings.
And it's only changed. It's only happened once in my lifetime.
What is the name of that city?
It was done in 2010. Now 2010 was when the new record was set.
It's in India. I can't remember the name of the city, but it's in India.
Is it? Okay.
That means I'm wrong, but well, go ahead and tell us.
Dubai.
Okay.
Chat got it.
Yeah.
Actually, Chat did pretty well overall.
Chat.
Chat had a couple of answers that were not good, but they have clean streets. You can leave your car unlocked. At what cost? All right. Well, I don't know. That's about average for you. Got 20%.
Yep.
On that one. So we'll try again. We'll try again. Next week. We'll try again next week and see if we can get that score up a little bit.
Real quick, can I take just a second to talk about how dumb high school geography is? In that the vast majority of it was just American geography. Like, I'm in high school at this point. Stop teaching me American geography and teach me the rest of the world, please.
Yeah, if you had down American geography.
I got made.
He said Washington, D.C. is the capital. There's a Grand Canyon and there's some mountains called the Rockies. And if you name the Appalachians as well, you get bonus points.
Yeah.
I know exactly why they go to Dubai.
I wish that I had been taught more about the world in school. I wish I'd cared more about it then. Because the world is such a cool, fascinating place, and I feel like I know so little of it still.
Yeah. It's rather large comparative to us. Nothing in the universe, but compared to us, it's really large.
Well, you ready to move into Gundam then for this week?
Yeah, sounds about right, Dragonfire. Yes.
We only have 5 episodes to talk about this week because Thanksgiving. We didn't watch any then. But coming up,
I didn't have to watch Gundam.
Right. Coming up, we'll have Christmas on a Monday, so we'll get refixed on our 10-episode chunk again then.
Okay.
Correct order wise. But yeah, we watched 5 episodes turn A. What'd you think about episodes 11 to 15? The Borjanans.
I'm actually enjoying Turn A. There's a lot of stuff in it I find silly. There's still that, but overall it's holding up as a series.
Yeah.
The influence of Miyazaki is huge.
Mm-hmm.
Is huge in this, and it helps a lot. To get some, I think it helped. I think Tamino listened to his friend about some things and took it to heart and decided to become better at what he does. If the Tamino that had directed Turn A, if that Tamino had directed OG, 79 Gundam, that would have been a better series than it was.
Right.
It would have been a lot stronger, a lot bigger, and it would have a lot more places to go through there. I think it's very solid. There is not one character that is just like the super standout character by themselves.
Sure.
All the characters in there seem to have some form or place in the story without feel like just being, like pry-barred in there.
Yeah.
To get it. I don't like the mustached Gundam. I don't like the Turn A Gundam that much. The other suit designs I find rather interesting, though. And I think I mentioned this while we were watching it. You can watch some other Gundam stuff, Tamino and not, but we'll stick to Tamino because on this, where you're watching it along, and you're like, yeah, I know where he got that design. Yeah, I know where he picked up that little, that thing or that thing. And in this one, in Turn A, you can still see that.
Right.
But he's done enough to take it out of that. Like the little two-legged, I forget what they called them.
Wadums?
What was that it? Wabots? Wadums? Was it Wadums?
Yeah, there's the Wadus and the Wadums.
Okay. They, that, if it had stuck to the way he used to do things, that would have been definitely looked like a Battletech designed mech type thing. But he went beyond that and changed the design of it a little bit and gave it some extra. So the influence is there, but you've done something original with it.
Yeah.
You're not just taking it out and plugging it into your, I don't know. I think it's good.
I agree.
Why don't?
This is also the set of episodes where we get some of the few missteps that I think Turn A really takes with the storyboarding. And I don't think it's the storyboarder's fault. I think it's that they didn't have enough time to do it all because I don't think that there was... Why did we just switch places? Let me fix that real quick.
I have no idea.
There we go. I don't think that there was enough time given to truly talk about how long it's been.
Yeah. There's a lot of open questions through that, through the story. Dealing with the princess, the queen, or whatever you want to call her, and just interactions between characters. Because 7, that's exactly why.
Yeah.
What
are we changing my name to?
But I think I think there's some definite questions that need to be answered. It's like, wait a minute, how did this? And I guess they kind of answer it. You pointed out with the I know what cold storage feels like, but that's it.
Yeah, we do have an ad that has just started, by the way, but it's only got 16 seconds left.
Fine. Wait for the ad.
I'm glad the chat is
over.
The name change. It's going to be very confusing for people that are first watching the podcast tonight. All right, ad has ended. Please continue, sir.
All right. I like like she knows what it feels like to be in cold storage. That's it. We don't get any backstory. Like, why was she defrosted?
Hmm.
Why was she in cold storage for so long?
Hmm.
It does take a good long time to get to the moon, but with the technology they have, it's not that long.
Right.
It's not going to be generations of people on Earth passing.
It's I love Turn A. I think this is in some regards the weakest set of episodes, and they're not even bad episodes, right? The Coriander stuff is really good. The Gavan Goonie getting introduced and everything there is fun. The Borjanins being just Zaku's, that's an interesting thing. But I don't think all the stuff with Will Game is necessarily super great.
No, and that throws off a lot, and it just brings up a lot more questions that you should have. And then maybe it goes somewhere later on, but right now it just does not go anywhere.
Yeah, I do love. I'm not going to put up spoiler boo, but I do love the ending sequence of that last episode, where it's like, oh yeah, there's his arms.
Yeah, yeah, sure.
This is war, people.
Right. It might just be his arms. Who knows?
But no, I like it, and I'm glad you're enjoying it. I know that there's been a lot of Gundam that I did like that you didn't. Zeta, and you didn't really enjoy G Gundam all that much, and
I know.
But I'm glad that we found a series that I think is some of the best of Gundam, kind of like First Gundam, that you also enjoy.
But like the assault run in First Gundam.
Mm-hmm.
That's its weakest point, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And now that falls down to, that's just not a good plot. That's completely unnecessary.
Yeah.
You're going to the sea.
Yep.
A lot of salt in the sea. And in fact, I think the way they were driving, going around and everything, it probably wouldn't have been too much of to go to the Dead Sea.
Yep.
And then they'd never have to run out of salt again.
Mm-hmm.
Go through that, but it was just bad writing, not really thought through. Some of the writings and some of the other ones has just been, it's kind of insulting to the viewer. I know it's made for kids.
Yeah,
I know it's made for kids, but it's just like
that Oliver moment.
Yeah, it's just to make it's just putting scenes together and not worrying about the story between them.
Yeah,
now, you can put scenes together, like come up with scenes you want to see in your story. But then have a good connecting narrative to help out. But
I do agree, Remus. Canon, the Canon GM, as it were, is such a good suit. I wish. Are you ready to move into weeks then, sir?
Sure.
How has your week been?
It's been okay. I have done a lot of. We played Lotro. That's always good. I always enjoy that.
Yeah.
But I've been playing Lotro throughout the week. My main Rungren level caps went up 10 levels, so I have 4 levels. I'm really close to level 145 on that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to go any further past that until I can afford to get the Corsairs of Umbar.
Yeah.
And check out that and see. Been playing Don't Starve again.
Yeah.
And probably, my love have probably made probably my favorite world so far. Just the way we got it set up and how we got it done, it's like almost manages itself.
Yeah.
For like a couple days out of the year, a little bit in summer, maybe a little bit in winter.
Okay.
So it's really set up, and I got the thing set up, and want to be able to got it figured out to where at some point I'm going to be able to change characters at the Celestial Postern that used to be the Florid Postern. That I'm sure you have no idea what I'm talking about.
Nope.
If you've never played Starve. Florid Postern is a thing where you spawn into the world, and it can be where you get resurrected when you die. Go back to it, and it'll bring you back to life. Well, bring you back into life because you'll be a ghost when you die. So you go to Florid Postern, haunt it.
Okay.
It brings you back as a player so you can do stuff. And if you got the Celestial Postern and you make a key and you go to it, and you actually switch to another character and play that character.
Oh, that's cool.
For a while in the same world. So now we got this world built up and going. I might do that. It's the best
Yeah,
world we built so
that's cool.
far, in my opinion. I don't know. I watched some YouTube, but nothing really important. Going through that. Did do a little bit of work the other day, and I don't know. Pretty much just relaxed. Took medicine. Try to make sure my heart kept going, and
Yeah,
pretty much covered my week.
important. Okay.
So how was your week, sir?
Been busy. Had a lot of stuff in my week, and I'm going to try and condense it so we're not just here for an hour.
Okay.
Been doing some light Yodi crunch. Been, putting in some extra hours, trying not to overdo it or anything. But helped you a lot.
Pointing that up, Fade. Yeah, I appreciate
that. I have still been playing Lotro, as we were just talking about. I leveled.
Yes.
My captain's level 20 now. I'm trying to get him to Lone Lands, the next destination there. Yeah. And then I did a little bit of Rohan questing, not too much, but just a little bit, and got to 76. Unlocked the ability to have a wolf pet while I'm on my war steed.
That's cool.
And so that's pretty great.
Yeah.
He's kind of useless, but just having a wolf running next to me is cool. So, you know, that game's still really good.
I'm a little bit older, but I understand, man. I wanted to be the Beastmaster when I was a kid.
Yep.
I had a snake, a falcon, big panther, a couple of ferrets. Greatest hero of all time.
Turn A. Yeah.
Still, the intro to Turn A still gets me. It's like, what? Who ordered the James Bond theme? That's just
turn A, turn.
Yeah, that's right up. Down.
Love it. Video game wise, before I get into video games anymore, let me finish the one. Let me talk about the one show that I finished. I finished The Fiery Priest.
Kind of hoping for Sense8, but whatever.
I'm working on that still. I
don't believe you.
This one I get to watch on my own. That one I have to watch with another person. But The Fiery Priest, very, very good. Really liked the way it all wrapped up. Got a little... whenever you have like a crime drama and they feel like right at the end they need to introduce new twists and it gets a little too fantastical at times.
Yeah, sure.
Where it's like, okay, well, I didn't think these characters needed to be connected, and now the fact that they are connected might be more interesting on a rewatch, but I don't think it really added anything to the story.
Well, if you rewatch it and you find if you're sitting there going, holy cow, I didn't notice that before. Holy cow, then that's awesome. If you rewatch it and you go, it's like, how in the there's no reason, then it's kind of stinky. That's the point.
There's a moment in this where they pull and this guy was actually like a father to me. Like, that has never come up before this moment. There is no reason to add that now. Otherwise, it's a very good show. I really enjoyed it. Good stuff.
Good deal.
Did a little bit of model building. And I built this guy.
Nice.
A Lord Discordant on Hellstalker.
Very nice.
Really like him. I felt like, going into Rohan, I should build a mounted character.
Okay.
And so, give me your primer. Yes. He's pretty cool. Yes, I am waiting on the wife for Sense8. But video game wise, Baldur's Gate. Still working my way through Act 3. It is turning back around for me. I got through the rough intro sequence where you get railroaded pretty bad, and then after that, it kind of opens up again. You have options. You can do things the way you want to do them. You can just walk into a house, close the doors behind you, and kill everybody inside, and then run from the police when they show up. Because those people are all actually shape-shifting murderers. Everybody else doesn't know that. You don't have to get the evidence to prove that it's true. You can just do it.
Okay.
And that is a lot more what the rest of the game has been. Of you can act on your gut instinct. That's what, and a lot of times, that's what D&D turns out to be, is, reasonable. If you have reasonable ideas something is going on, you don't have to go find the video game flag trigger to make it happen,
Right.
And so that it feels good to be back into that. We got into a cool dungeon, did some cool stuff there. I'm getting back into loving Baldur's Gate 3 again. Had to get through some railroading.
Good.
What I'm not loving so much is Sea of Stars. Sea of Stars is the proclaimed by a lot of the internet Chrono Trigger like. It's not really a Chrono. It's more like Super Mario RPG with some Chrono Trigger elements, with some Golden Sun elements. It's a fun RPG. The combat is very basic. It's turn-based. You have timed hits. That's pretty much it. Maybe it'll expand as I go, but I'm a third of the way through the game according to the chapter listing, and it's just not grabbing me. I like the characters well enough, but...
Can you play it with one button?
Sort
one
of.
One button and controller, you can always pull it off? Okay.
And that's what I watched the Fiery Priest while grinding a little bit in Sea of Stars, because I was hoping that maybe by just getting higher numbers, the combat would seem less bloated. Enemies have a lot of health, and it really comes down to just timed hits, hit them, and then when you've built up enough mana from hitting enemies, use your spell and win the fight. Yeah. Maybe it gets deeper. I don't know. I'm gonna keep working on it. It's in the Game Awards for one of the best games of the year. It's been on a lot of people's best game of the year list, so we'll see. But it's just not winning me over so far.
Okay.
I think part of the problem is that the two main characters don't have personalities, really. They're there to be the hero characters, and they have one defining character trait, really, which is they want to protect their best friend, who is this other guy. And all of their character development so far is around him, and not around who they are as people. And I don't feel like I like, if you ask me to explain who they are as characters, I can't.
Oh.
Because they're just the sun guy and the moon girl that want to help their friend.
Okay.
Their flaws are that they're worried he's going to get hurt. That's it's...
Look, I hear you, but that when I was a child, so many years ago. No, when they used to have this thing, I think it was on the USA Network. I don't know how many people remember USA Network, at Cartoon Express, but in the evenings, they would have, I forgot what the one they called for the monster was. They had they would have one show, and each day or whatever, they'd show, an old Godzilla, old monster movie, but they also had this other one called Kung Fu Theater.
Yeah.
And these were just movies they picked up out of Hong Kong.
Mm.
And some of these movies were not very good.
Right.
There's a time in the 70s where Hong Kong was just throwing out movies. But the idea of the main characters not really having a story, it's just this person, and this is what they want to do. That was the basis of a lot of those movies.
Oh, absolutely.
The villain would be the same way.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing you had to know that this guy was a villain was the way people reacted to him when somebody said his name.
Yeah.
Or when he showed up. Everybody's like, oh.
Mm-hmm. No, I agree. It's just when people compare it to Chrono Trigger, I go, well, I know those characters. I could give you a dissertation on why Frog is one of the best characters in video games. That's easy to do. And so it's just, I see people do that, and I'm like, well, maybe I'm just missing something here, because I'm not seeing that.
That's not the feeling I'm getting.
But I've also been playing Like a Dragon Gaiden.
Yeah, of course you have.
and that's still really great. Okay, so instead of giving you like full thoughts on the game so far, because I'm only in chapter 2,
You're just gonna do like partial of them?
I want to give you like
just
this
partial thoughts?
Yeah, this one little snippet. My full thoughts of this one thing.
This game is.
So they give you a quest to go to a cabaret club, which is common in these games, right? You can go to a cabaret club and you can spend time there. They have all kinds of mini games. There's always like
you'll get experience from going.
Yeah, probably, right?
Hour and a half breakdown into Mario.
This is why Zale is the best character ever written.
Why Luigi is underrated.
Right. In these games, it's almost always like a mini game of you're raising the girls' like influence in the cabaret club, or you're building the club up, or anything like that. Well, this game, they tell you it's particularly immersive. And when you get there,
yeah,
it's
you're
just
told not to touch the girls.
Well, you are, yeah, of course,
okay.
But it's just footage of actual women as compared to being video game girls. It is Kason, who is a YouTuber, VTuber, that is a huge fan of the Yakuza series and won a contest to be able to be in it. And then another actress that I didn't recognize. And they're both just there, and you're supposed to go on a date with one of them and talk to them. I am somebody that has breezed through these mini games before, right? It has been no problem. It's choose the right answers to make the little bar go up so that Kiryu walks away having completed the quest. I was immensely uncomfortable.
And that, okay. So the quest where you have to actually talk to a girl, just completely threw you off.
I was immensely uncomfortable.
That explains a lot.
It felt really weird in a Yakuza game to be talking to a real human being, which obviously it was all recorded responses, but like,
right.
And
so it wasn't.
It wasn't talking. You're right. It was talking to a recorded human being, but
yeah.
It was
not even an AI. Just they have pre-programmed responses.
Right.
Okay.
It was very strange, and get my wife to play it. I should. That would be really funny. Kiryu walks away from it, and the character that sent him there is like, "So what did you think?" And he said, "It was very immersive. I didn't know how to feel." And I was like, "Yes, that's me right now, Kiryu. This is weird." And I think it succeeded at being weird in the style that Yakuza is. Yeah. But I don't ever want them to do it again.
Okay. Do not give Trey a quest where he's got to talk to a woman. Gotcha.
It's just like I didn't expect it at all. I'd been completely unspoiled on it. And when it started playing footage of a person that I've seen on YouTube and watched some videos from, I was like, what? What is this?
I can think of a couple of different YouTubers that I wouldn't mind seeing in a cabaret, but I think it's a different story.
So, anyway, it's still a really good game, and I'm really loving it so far. I've gotten into all the like side quest area stuff, and another map, changed from the first map to a new one, and doing cool side quest stuff, getting cool side stories, and having a good time.
Excellent.
You get bonus scenes. Awesome. Probably not going to do that.
Yeah. Works that way in real life, too.
I also tried out Persona 5 Tactica. This is the Persona 5 SRPG. I recorded 48-minute first impressions on it. I think it's cool. It's got some cool ideas. I don't think I'm going to try and finish it before the end of the year. I'm probably just going to leave it where it's at right now.
Okay. Good excuse not to finish that game, I guess.
I don't love the chibi art style they went with. I think that, like, it's a P5 game. Yeah. I think in a lot of ways, it's trying to be the Super Robot Wars of Persona, but without adding in, at least as far as I got in, without adding in all of the other characters. Super Robot Wars is a very popular, in the mecha community, I guess, SRPG, where you get Gundam and Getter Robo and Mazinger Z and all that, but they're SD versions, super diminished. This is SD versions of the P5 cast in a tactics RPG. And that's kind of all it's got going for it. There's some cool mechanic changes from normal where you have like cover you can get behind because you have guns, but otherwise it's kind of just that. And I'm hoping that it opens up to more, but it's just not, you know, probably not.
That kind of, I don't know. It feels like such. What was it? Was it like around 2003? Everything got a daggone tactics game.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
And there was like a few years there. I was trying to remember what year it started.
If
Final Fantasy got one. Everybody got one.
I do like Final Fantasy Tactics. It's very good. If they add in like the other Persona characters, I think they could have a really cool game here. But I feel like it's just going to be P5.
Tactics, not Persona 5 Tactics.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that would be a cool way to do it because I'm getting some P5 fatigue at this point. What year did Persona 5 come out? Let me pull that up real quick.
I don't know.
It was 2016, and ever since Persona 5 came out, that's all we've been getting is Persona 5 spin-offs. This is the third one.
Worked for Skyrim.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then finally, oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Just saying, I don't know. Companies copy each other. Go ahead.
Finally, for my week, Remnant from the Ashes 2. This is a sequel to Remnant from the Ashes, of course, which is a shooter looter. I'm not going to call it a shooter. I'm not going to do it. It is Diablo, but in third-person shooter, right?
Yeah.
And you go to weird alien worlds, and you get cool loot. And if you go into somebody else's world, their world will have different bosses and different loot that you can get. Get different guns, different armor, different melee weapons. I'm really enjoying this one so far. I want to do something different than just always doing a first impression, so I'm going to do like an early impressions for this one.
Second impressions.
Kind of, yeah.
11Zs.
11Zs. I should call it that. But I'm really enjoying it so far. I got a gun that is called the Rupture Cannon.
Okay.
And that's pretty great. And then I got a hammer that has a rocket booster on the back. When you do a charged attack, it ignites, and then all your attacks are faster.
Yeah. Fallout 4 has those too.
Yep.
So that's the dumbest design I've ever seen.
Love it. Because it's dumb.
Yeah.
But no, I like it a lot so far. I'm looking forward to putting some more time into it. I have no idea how long it is. I have no idea if I'm going to beat it before the end of the year. I'm probably going to focus on everything else first, but I really like it.
Okay. Excellent.
And that's pretty much my week. I think that covered everything in a pretty concise manner.
Well, it covered everything.
A lot shorter than I had originally figured it was going to take to talk about it.
Okay.
And a lot more I wanted to say about Sea of Stars, but I cut it short. No hammer can. That's very true. No hammer can match the revolver hammer.
Fine.
So, for reviews tonight, I've got 3 games here. All 3 of which you might have never heard of, but I do have their descriptions up for you. That's true. The first one is called Wordless. It's a stylized 2D platformer with a unique active turn-based combat system and a mind-bending interpretive narrative, according to the devs. You go on a journey of self-growth and understanding, pushing the limits of nature in a newly born and abstract universe.
All right. 78.
Okay. Rima says it sounds boring.
Well, you give a vague description of your game like that, you're reaching. Either you've done something very artistic and different, or you just made it a game with pretty colors that makes no sense.
Yeah. I agree. The score is 82.
Okay. All right.
out of 17 reviews. And I've got a couple blurbs here for you.
Blurb them out.
Way Too Many Games says, I was drawn in by the visuals and utterly hooked by the musical scoring, the expansive areas, and the implied lore that was further cemented by my own character's evolution. The combat, when it was good, was so good, and the reason I kept coming back is I wanted to be as precise and murderous as the game thought I could be. There's no death, no save points, no turning back, and no way out but through. Find more, you see more, you fight more, and all you want is more. The hunger that spawns from the epoch of creation.
Okay.
Second blurb for you. At Trey musical score. Look. Games Creed says Wordless has a great premise and presentation, but it's clear that it's a console-first game and that putting it on PC is an afterthought. If you enjoy the exploration aspects of Metroid and Castlevania games, you will find a lot to enjoy. However, several combat balances need to be implemented, including an easy skill refund, additional skill points, and a design native to the PC platform.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stick with 78.
Okay.
80.
Score is 82%.
All right. Well,
Almost.
great. Same score both times.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah. That's always kind of.
Never forget. So, second game we have coming up is one that I know a lot of people were excited about and then completely forgot existed because it took so long to make it. Gangs of Sherwood. Remember this one? This is the one we saw the trailer of at the Game Awards that year, where they were standing above and in the church, and they were looking over the balcony. And yeah, you fight the armies of the Sheriff of Nottingham and lead the rebellion solo or in co-op with up to 4 players.
Okay. I want this game to be good, but I know it's not. I have a feeling it's not. That's kind of reflecting what I was thinking. I'll go lower though. Almost 72.
Okay. 14 reviews, by the way.
Got a 64 from Remus.
Score is 64. Congratulations, Remus.
Wow. Oh. Well, you got the score right anyway.
It hasn't told me an ad is coming, but Nightbot thinks an ad is coming, so I assume one will be here.
Yes.
Eventually.
Nightbot's still hungover from Thanksgiving, okay? So Dad, give Remus their ice cream, okay?
He's on the board. So, Get Lush Gaming says it's supposed to be 74, but yeah! That's a good typo then.
Hey, it worked out for you.
Says Gangs of Sherwood offers a lot of replay value with its fantastic action sequences, excellent character and enemy design, and big boss encounters. The story and the character interactions between the gang and enemies are really good.
Okay.
GameSpew says pick up Gangs of Sherwood and you might get a few hours of entertainment out of it, especially if you play it with friends. Ultimately, though, this is a mediocre action game with a litany of issues, ranging from unbalanced characters to subpar presentation. For that reason, it's difficult to recommend, even if you're intrigued by its visually fresh take on the legend of Robin Hood. Though, to be honest, this doesn't feel like a Robin Hood game at all. There's little stealing from the rich to give to the poor here, and aside from Friar Tuck, his band of merry men doesn't really seem all that merry.
You know, Sherwood Forest is an actual place. I've been there. I've seen it. You can go there. 100 Acre Woods, an actual place. It shouldn't be that hard. Anyway. 68.
Okay. The score is 50%.
Oh.
Right on the line.
All right.
Finally, for reviews, we have the big one. We have the game everybody's been waiting for. SteamWorld Build. Most people have probably forgotten the SteamWorld franchise exists. This is the newest in the long line of the SteamWorld franchise. SteamWorld Dig.
This world is.
It's not quite the same as that. But
Okay.
this is the building survival style game in the SteamWorld universe. So if you ever heard of SteamWorld Dig or SteamWorld Craft, I think is the other one. Look, I've never got into the series. It didn't take off the way that I think they originally intended it to, but it's like a niche hit that some people really love that series.
Yeah, it's steampunk's cool. It's just not for everybody, I guess. Look at that. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
74.
Okay. Like how Remas and Faith are both like, what is this? SteamWorld Dig was on a few people's Game of the Year list the year that it came out, like a few big publications.
Oh.
Kind of the last time that it's been super in the spotlight.
Fair enough.
The score is 80.
Okay.
Not too bad.
Not too bad at all.
Thumb Culture says SteamWorld Build is an excellent addition to the franchise. The management isn't too hard for you to learn. It doesn't go out of its way to become challenging. This is thanks to SteamWorld Build not punishing the player with endless tabs, unlike other management sims. Cast of characters, voices, and designs are delightful and well made for the game. Once I started, I couldn't stop. The story isn't complex, which makes a nice change, as I find too many games are trying to make their story too philosophical or so complicated that I end up looking at a wiki to grasp some understanding. Mining aspect of SteamWorld Build is where I spent most of my time, as it felt more engaging than the city building. Building up small teams to drill and explore the depth below was great, and it reminded me of the Dungeon franchise. Could be, Rima.
Okay.
Could be. However, Green Rant says, despite these missing quality of life features, SteamWorld Build still manages to be fairly addicting. Sense of progress is consistent enough, even with occasional moments of waiting, and making discoveries feels rewarding enough to keep things engaging. The varied environments found throughout the game all feel uniquely designed, and accompanied by the blend of ambient sounds and satisfying soundtrack, the world as a whole comes off as intriguingly charming. While it may not feel absolutely complete in its systems, SteamWorld Build is still a worthwhile venture for players looking for a creative new management.
All right, ready?
Yep.
All right. 82. 82. Give it an 82.
Trying to be more fancy with the axe. I don't know why, but the score is 82. Congratulations, sir. Can we get some ice creams in the chat for Rugran?
Yay. Guy got some ice cream. Excellent.
Since I'm also
Very last
Rugran
chance ahead.
today,
Huh?
does that mean I get ice cream?
You don't deserve ice cream.
I saw my score on that test earlier.
Goodness.
All right.
Ice cream.
Dr. Pepper ice cream. Thank you, Faith.
No.
All right. Let's move into announcements. Man.
Fine. What do you have to announce, sir?
Well, starting off, we have Reedpop is looking to sell.
That sounds like a terrible flavor.
Right. Nice. Reedpop are the owners of Eurogamer, Game Informer, BG247, Rock Paper Shotgun, and more. They own quite a few of the big name game journalist sites. And they're not making money, so they're looking to sell. And the current buyer looks like it might be Fandom, which is not great.
It might be fandom, but they're not really.
Yeah, right. But we don't really know any more than that right now. That's why it's in announcements. But just be aware, if you use these sites for your news, they might be making Chatgpt articles soon, like some of the others are. Oof, indeed. And then the other announcement we have is also kind of bad news, but has some good to it.
Okay.
And that's that Dread Hunger is getting shut down. I didn't know this game existed before this announcement.
Okay.
It is a game of survival and betrayal where 8 players work together and 2 people on the crew are traitors. Kind of like Among Us, right? It's got that style of gameplay. However, they weren't able to keep official servers up or to have the money to keep them going, and the game will close on January 1st. But they're going to hand all of the tools, all the server tools, over to players so that people can still run their own servers to be able to play the game.
Okay. That's cool.
It could have just shut down completely and never, been available again. But at least people that bought it will still be able to play it. And starting December 1st, you won't be able to buy it anymore either. Taken off the market. Good on them.
Gone.
That leads us to our news. Okay, so let's start off with some controversies. You and I both knew and we talked about this at the time, when ChatGPT and the voice AI stuff started coming up more and more, even though it's not real AI, as we've talked about many times, it was going to cause problems.
Right.
Because people are dumb. Bandai Namco claims they did not use AI voice technology in Naruto, Cross Boruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm Connections.
Okay.
However, if they did not, all they have done is said that they were stupid. So let me lay this down for you. A clip became public on X, Twitter, where Naruto is fighting Sasuke, and in the middle of it, he says, "Did that wake you up?" That's the exact tone change in the line. You cannot convince me that a voice actor would drop the tone like that in what is clearly an emotional moment for the line.
Right. And then the other actor turns back and says, he was with my mother in the Amazon while she was researching spiders.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that kind of thing, right? But no, the voice actor responded to all this on Twitter and said, "No, that's not how we recorded that line."
Oh. Okay.
Turns out they weren't alone. There's another voice actor, the voice actor for Kawaki, has kind of been on a Twitter campaign saying, "Hey, that's not the way I recorded that line. What's going on here, Bandai?"
Yeah.
Now there has been a lot of footwork put into this by the internet, because you know how people are, especially nerds that love an anime.
Yeah. Yeah.
People went to town, and I won't say who did this because there's some legal stuff coming up about it, but somebody scraped the game's audio files and ran them through an AI voice program to recognize, to have the program tell them if AI was used in places. The program said yes. That doesn't mean it was used. The program can be wrong. But there is right. Yeah. There is a part in the game where someone says it's time to unleash the power of God.
Yeah.
And the line in the game is, "It's time to unleash the power of God."
Okay.
So, Bandai was taken to task on this, and people made a big stink about it, and Bandai put out a statement. Said that they did not use AI, that there was some mix-up, between voiceover performances, voice directors, and the editing and mastering process, and that they just use the wrong takes everywhere.
Oh, okay.
So it's either that they used AI voice work when they're not supposed to, because the specific union they're talking to hire these actors from has a clause that says they can't use it.
Yeah.
Or it's an editor was incredibly wrong.
I'm going with I'm going to go with the AI.
Right.
That would have been more believable, yes.
Yeah.
Also, I'd be a lot more interested in this game.
Right.
Disappointed!
But no, I don't know if they did or not. And I don't know if that was them taking different takes of the same line and trying to piece something together the director felt was better.
Yeah.
Just because somebody's got the title of director does not mean they know what they're doing.
Yeah. I also think it's really scummy to push it off on the editor, because you and I both have edited audio, you for your music, me for videos. You know when a take is bad. You can tell when a take is bad.
Yeah.
And when it's spliced poorly and you need to try and fix it. It could have been an editor, but like you said, it's far more likely it's a voice director or a director over the project.
Yeah.
Than it was just an individual editor. And so I really don't like this.
The one who's got final say and should be checking the final product before it goes out. Yeah.
So either it's AI or scummy, and there's not a good winner here.
Maybe it's scummy AI.
Right. But they have to say it wasn't AI, because if it's AI, then they've broke their agreement with SAG-AFTRA. And so,
Yeah. There you have it.
People are understandably quite upset, but we will see how the story continues to grow and change.
Okay.
You're calling sus, you have the game? Yeah, there's been a lot of clips that have come up of lines that are definitely not good. That I don't understand how any voice director was like, yeah, that's good, ship it.
Like with the first Silent Hill, some of that voice acting was horrible.
Yep.
But it was because the voice acting was horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Not because they ran it. Don't open that door.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was.
It's funny you brought up Silent Hill.
Yeah, okay.
Because Silent Hill Ascension is
about Resident Evil, I meant to.
Also, that makes more sense, but they are also facing AI controversy.
Okay.
So, Silent Hill Ascension is less of a video game and more of an interactive movie that releases cutscenes every day. You can watch it on your phone or go to the website, but it is specifically made as an interactive product where you can buy a battle pass and you can spend money to influence decisions in the game. Everybody gets to influence them, but if you spend money, you get to influence them more. They said leading up to the release of this game that it was going to be using AI technology, Chatgpt specifically, to be able to adjust and continue moving forward with hundreds of thousands of people's input, and would have over 1,000 different ways that it could grow and change. Well, now that it's out, it's bad. Oh, real bad. There was a character that was going out into the woods to try and figure out what that noise was that they heard, and they've got a rifle, and they raise the rifle as they hear a noise, and a guy comes out, and his name is like Samurai Man 777, because that guy spent enough money to be able to get his username as the name of the character. And the one character asks him, like, hey, what are you doing out here? And the other guy says, oh, well, I'm just looking for berries. I gather berries and I make jam and sell them in town.
Okay.
He's like, well, because it's the middle of the night with fog everywhere in the woods. And he's like, well, have you seen anything weird? The other guy's like, no, not really. But I really like gathering berries. Anyway, see you later.
Creep.
Yep. Doesn't react to being held at gunpoint. Doesn't. Berryman's the best character. That's what a lot of people are saying. The dialogue is stilted and doesn't make sense a lot of the time.
Mm-hmm.
There's a character at one point that says, so you're going out to the woods?
Yeah.
And it has to be AI. It has to be.
Okay.
But
I want to actually for a second.
Please do.
Not really to you. Just so I can get it off my chest. We don't have artificial intelligence.
No, we don't.
At best, it's a narrow AI.
I agree.
It's faking being an artificial intelligence. It's a fancy language learning model.
Yeah.
That said, there are scientists who believe we'll hit the singularity by 2030, and if we do, we will have AI.
Yeah.
And that will be terrifying.
Yep.
We don't have it.
No.
Just because you can trick a program to act somewhat person-like does not constitute AI.
Yeah.
And I blame games because when it talks about what the NPCs do,
we call it AI.
The game company will say, yeah, well, they call it. That's true, Faith, but they will call it AI. You know? Let's fix up the AI for the NPC. That's not AI,
right?
It's a thing. I know. I realize that everybody here, I'm the only one that probably bothers.
No, it really truly does bother me too. It's just unfortunate that that's the terminology we have to use, you know.
Oh no.
I understand, Will. I understand.
Means it's totally super smart. Yes, Genie's AI. They didn't use Chatgpt.
That's what they say.
They used Bing.
Right. Do you remember the video that was shown of the tech bros that were so excited for the AI that they were talking to in the game, and that the AI wrote all that dialogue and how the NPC responded to me and everything? You remember that?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. That's what this is, really. It's that twice. It's the two generated characters using generated dialogue with generated voices talking to each other. But they're claiming now that's not what it is. Now, I want to read you this tweet from over a month ago from the main director over the project, who says, what's predetermined? We have one scene in week 4 that has 45 variations on a single scene. It's a simulation. It'll have 1K variations by the end of it. As time passes, the simulation will change radically based on input. That was a month ago.
Okay.
Now he says, every word in Ascension was written by real people, many of whom have long-running careers in writing, including Telltale titles, Pixar titles, God of War Ragnarok, Resident Evil Village, and more. Across our 100,000 words, 0 are authored by LLMs or AI, and all are from dedicated work of talented team.
Okay.
But
a talented team?
Yeah.
That's how the end of the sentence? That sounds like AI.
Right. He says it's a veiled insult to the team's writers to say this was written by AI.
I don't think it's veiled at all.
No, I don't think so either. If it's not written by AI, it's really weird writing, and I would say pretty bad.
Exactly. Sorry.
For sure.
Yes.
For sure. AP Dub sounds the same, so hopefully. But
they just use AI for the translation.
Right. It really bothers me that they're taking this stance of like, no, it's not AI, and just ignoring all of the criticisms of like, hey, the animations are stilted, the characters don't make sense, the dialogue doesn't make any sense. It's just, this is the only thing that bothers them. It's not that the implication is, well, if it's not AI, then it's bad. That doesn't bother them. It's just...
Yeah. If you used AI, you've got an excuse. Just come clean.
Right.
Right. If you didn't, you need to fire some people.
Yeah. So, just one last quick tweet to read off here, and I'll paraphrase it because it's really long. But July 19th of this year, same guy said, talking about their upcoming projects and how some new software had been added to their systems. This led to a lot of changes to our upcoming projects, all of which feature AI characters. Well, then, which is it, buddy? Because
And what do you mean AI?
yeah,
That's what I want to know. That's my question now. So I bet you don't actually mean AI.
he doesn't. He means the generated stuff.
Yeah.
Now, he did go back and say in a response this last week that because they needed to ship the game this year, even though it's not a game, they had to remove all of those AI-driven escape sequences and had mocap used instead. But he didn't say anything about the generated characters or anything like that. So, look, if it is, it's not good, and it was never going to be. If it's not, somebody should not have written Barry Man, is all I'm saying.
Yeah. And look, people are very capable of writing terrible dialogue.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's not unheard of. Big budget movies have terrible dialogue sometimes.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
If you're going to do it, at least have him react to the gun in his face.
Yeah, right. A little bit.
Just to be clear. Okay.
I don't know. Depending on what the guy's up to, not reacting to the gun, I can almost overlook that.
Sure. But he's gathering berries.
Yeah. And just the aspect of the conversation, yeah. The whole thing.
I'm out in the woods gathering berries and somebody points a gun in my face.
Well, yeah, but somebody points a gun at you, the last thing you want to do is make any sudden movement. So,
for sure.
So maybe.
Storm 4, yeah. He's saying the Japanese version of Naruto Boruto Connections is the same as Ninja Storm 4. So it's just the dub that we have that has been butchered.
Yes.
Berries give him courage. Yeah. Yeah. Who would be scared of a gun when you have berries?
What?
Now, this next part is really weird. And we're talking about devs coming out and trying to defend themselves and everything. I have lost the...
Gosh. One thing to keep up with, Trey. Come on. I don't know. I have no idea.
Okay, I got it. We're good.
Okay.
Put a berry into the end of the gun, then you can't be shot. Yeah.
Exactly.
We're talking about people being upset about like veiled threats and everything. Starfield devs have taken to respond on Steam to reviews.
Why?
So apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, this is a thing a lot of indie devs do, where they'll respond to negative Steam reviews in an attempt to turn them into positive because it affects searchability for games a lot.
Yeah.
This is just a big name that's doing it. And I don't have a problem with them. That's whatever, right? They probably shouldn't. Yeah. It's not going to get them anywhere, but whatever.
Right.
It's what they're saying that is so interesting to me. Okay. So, one person said that the game was boring. The empty planets were really boring. The dev responded with, "We appreciate you taking the time to provide your review and sorry to hear you did not enjoy your time in Starfield. If you feel that things are getting boring, there is much more to do than just the main mission. Some of Starfield's planets are meant to be empty by design. But that's not boring. When the astronauts went to the moon, there was nothing there. They certainly weren't bored. The intention of Starfield's exploration is to evoke a feeling of smallness in players and make you feel overwhelmed. You can continue to explore."
In the first place.
Right. "You can continue to explore and find worlds that do have resources you need or hidden outposts to look through. So yeah, if you're bored checking empty planets, well, so were the astronauts on the moon. So what are you complaining for?"
Yeah. But they actually got to walk on the moon.
Right.
Any second, they could have, a fraction of a second, something changes, they're dead. I think that's a little more exciting.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much the same way. Yeah.
There was a couple reviews that talked about the story and got these responses. You can take the time to explore various planets for resources and items. You can also break the law by smuggling and selling contraband. Build your own outposts and starships. Customize them to your enjoyment. Exploration and role-playing. There are many things to do and explore. There's so many layers to Starfield that you will find things you never knew were possible after playing for hundreds of hours. Even after completing the main story, your adventure doesn't end. You can continue on to New Game Plus to keep exploring Starfield and all that is out there. We are still actively working on the game and will be for a long time yet to come. That doesn't counter anything they said.
No. Oh my gosh.
So somebody said in their review, the story is very generic. You should just go buy Cyberpunk instead. And this is the response. Thank you for taking the time to leave a review for Starfield. You can fly, you can shoot, you can mine, you can loot. Starfield is an RPG with hundreds of hours of quests to complete and characters to meet. Most quests will also vary on your character's skills and decisions, massively changing the outcome of your playthrough. Try creating different characters with backgrounds and characteristics that clash or are opposite of your previous character. You'll feel like you're playing a totally different game. Put points in different skills from a character you previously created, and you are now faced with completely different decisions to make and difficulties to encounter. There are so many layers to Starfield that you will find things you never knew were possible after playing for hundreds of hours.
I think that never possible. Make sure you get this in your response to the reviews. You need this statement.
Yep.
That you will find things to do didn't think were possible after hundreds of hours.
Yep.
Because that's what, kind of one of the amazing things about Skyrim is that it keeps being brought up in articles 11 years later about Skyrim.
Yeah.
Now, we've never managed to do that again in any other game, really, but
just gaslight people into thinking that's what we did again, right?
Yeah.
There was some talk of this being one of the same people that they still haven't fixed the private room issue on Naruto. I'm sorry, buddy. That's terrible. There was some talk of the account being used to respond to people was the same one that was responding to people on Fallout 4 reviews.
Yeah.
And problems that people had there and telling people they just didn't understand the story enough. But I couldn't find any confirmation that that was actually the case. So that's just here nor there. Yeah.
Okay.
But I wanted to read you one last one here. And it's very brief. And Mass Effect 1 had a better story. And Mass Effect 1 had a better planetary explanation. Yeah. Hey, Dark. Mass Effect 1. Yeah. Mass Effect 1 was great. Specifically, someone complained that, loading screens are really long. Bethesda customer service response pushed back with, while there may be loading screens in between fast traveling, just consider the amount of data for the expansive gameplay that is procedurally generated to load flawlessly in under 3 seconds. We believe that shortcoming will not hinder our players from getting lost in the world we created. But they're not 3 seconds. It's not, they're longer than.
Yeah. And the only reason people are getting lost in the worlds that you create, because it's the same thing, frame after frame, looks the same in all directions. You forgot where you parked.
Yep. The art was pretty good.
Problem, Dark.
I understand not handling drastic change to schedule pretty well. I understand that for sure. Got an ad break.
Do we? Really?
It has popped up again.
Okay. Not working, but working enough. It'll catch up. Everything will catch up. Back in routine soon. You'll be fine. I promise.
Speaking of ads, you should be back to 30 seconds of ads at most, I hope. Pretty sure I was able to get that changed, so, you know.
Yeah.
Oh boy, Dark. Oh. You know what else isn't fun?
What's that?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey has added a new feature.
Okay.
How much do you like ads?
I don't.
How much would you like to have an ad pop up every time you open your map in an Assassin's Creed game?
No.
But did you know it's 20% off? Assassin's Creed Mirage is 20% off.
That's because the game's not selling very well.
So they claim it was just an error, right? As Darks pointed out. They've said multiple times, well, we didn't mean for it to happen. It was supposed to pop up when you opened a different menu. Assumption being the point there was when you opened the store menu, right? But people checked it by moving like their country of origin, and it changed the price. It's the actual like ad from the store put on the map load.
Okay.
If that's a bug, that's a very specific bug.
Man, if we had a VPN sponsor, it'd be a great time to go into it.
Right. Because it really feels to me like this was not a bug at all, and they wanted to see what people would do.
This is something that they want to do for a long time. Look at any movie that shows the future, and okay, let's take the movie. I didn't like the movie that much, but it was okay. Ready Player One.
Yeah.
You know, in that game world, you got ads on billboard.
Mm-hmm.
In Cyberpunk, I could actually see them having like billboards,
right.
ads of actual products,
you
know, on it. That would kind of fit in that game. There's no, you know, they could actually put it in game. It will be part of the game. It's not, you know, taking you out of the game for anything.
Right.
Going through that, but just to put up an ad when you open your map or go to a certain menu, that's kind of crap.
Yeah.
Because you're still charging, you know, that if you were giving the game away free.
Yeah. It'd be a pain, but.
Yeah, it'd be a pain, but I totally understand why you have ads there.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's not even like it's an ad for something else. It's just an ad for more of their own games. Like, hey, stop playing the one you're already playing and go buy this one and play it instead.
Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. The Cyberpunk devs debated on letting people buy ad space in it, right? And decided against it. And like I said, from my opinion, it could work in that game.
Yeah.
You know, if done right, a Coca-Cola ad would not look out of place.
Well, and I think it makes sense in Gundam Breaker 3, too, to have the line ads there because it's a tournament. And so you have those like in the back of the tournament. Kind of like if NBA only had, in the video games, they only had ads on the side of the court or in football or any of that would make sense. But instead, as Dark's saying, they have unskippable ads that pop up, you know. No, make it diegetic at least.
Yeah. Needs to fit.
They're working on removing it right now. So they got caught. People don't like it. They're backtracking.
That sounds like a Blizzard move.
Right.
Wow.
Finally for tonight. And for the brand new RGRX78-2. Yeah, they're working on removing it.
They're working on it.
Yeah.
They're gonna squeeze more ads out of it before they let it go.
Apparently not. Apparently it's an actual bug that has to be fixed. Instead of just removing that line of code for now and putting it back where it goes. But finally for tonight, Baldur's Gate 3 is judging you.
Okay.
Oh, it's absolute garbage. For sure.
Yeah.
There's no question. So after the most recent patch 4, there was a weird bug that has been found, and they're already putting out patch 5 that should fix it. It's going to come out this week. But the bug in patch 4 is really funny to me because there's an enemy in Act 2 of the game called a scrying eye, and if it sees you commit a crime, then it alerts all the enemies around you. That wasn't their original intention with it. It was supposed to just be an eye to alert enemies in the direct vicinity, not enemies all the way across the map. And so they're fixing that, right? In patch 4, they changed the scrying eyes code so that it doesn't do that anymore. Well, when they did, they accidentally made it where the game is always watching you every time you steal something. And if you steal something, the game constantly keeps a tally of what you've stolen, which can get pretty high. And so when you get to Act 3, the game can just have immense slowdown.
Okay.
And it only happens if you've stolen a lot.
Don't be a thief.
But
Stealing is wrong, okay?
they specifically said that they thought it was really funny. They're going to fix it because obviously it's affecting a lot of people's performance. But
yeah,
that to them it felt like the dungeon master was so caught up keeping track of all the crimes that you've committed that he was no longer able to function.
That's funny. Yeah.
So, yeah, don't steal.
Don't do it.
It's apparently really bad on console, on PlayStation, where if you steal...
Well, you fill up your cache on the console real quick.
Mm-hmm.
The cache is... Yeah, sometimes you have to dump the cache out of it just to get stuff to run, but that's a different story. Go ahead.
Yeah. So that's really all there is to this. I just thought I would end us on kind of funny news thing.
Gotcha.
Instead of something depressing.
Right. There's enough depressing out there.
Well, that's the thing, Dark. In this situation, it was still apparently wrong, even if you didn't get caught. Because the game was watching you.
I do understand the sentiment. I'm a fan of Jane's Addiction. Anyway, one of their biggest songs was about that a long time ago.
Yeah.
But yes, but I find that that's not a good moral stance to have. Because some people will start using that for, well, it's only wrong. This is only wrong if you get caught. It's like, no, that's just wrong, period.
That's exactly what it was, Remas. Like, the game was trying to keep up with all the code of what had been stolen, who should be upset that it's stolen, that it wrapped everything else up because it was so focused on that. So it basically was that exact conversation of, why should this person be upset? And I hadn't realized that's what was happening in Act 3 for us, but there's been a couple times with us playing that, like, we've gone to do something, and my wife has gone to steal something, and 7 NPCs just go, "Ooh, you better not! You better not do that!" Like, whoa, calm down. This person's dead on the street. Calm down. Why are you guys why are you panicking right now?
Right.
So, that's why.
Well, you have your answer.
I
I
did not see that. No, I did not see that. Let's move on to Rungrid's Corner.
All right. As you know, we usually start this off with a happy birthday. We're going to say happy birthday to Karen Gillan today.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sure she's like doing like Guardians of the Galaxy Part 6 or whatever. You know, Jumanji 7. I don't. She's been in movies.
Amy Pond.
And yeah, maybe maybe they call her next to try to get Doctor Who back on, back to popularity. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure she's got something very important going on and can't be with us right now. I'm sure she'll catch up this weekend. So when she does, I just want to make sure she hears. We wish her a happy birthday. That. I do have a story for you here.
Okay.
But let me check my notes again. Okay. So, and an airport in London, which my guess would be it would be Heathrow, but they don't give the name of the airport.
Okay.
That's because I don't know if there is another airport in London besides Heathrow. But on a particular Airbus A321 single aisle aircraft, 170 passengers on this plane, and this plane was going from London to the United States. They were all seated. They had this plane wasn't full. It can seat up over 100 seats, but the plane wasn't full. The small group of passengers were all seated in the middle of the cabin, just ahead of the overwing exits, keeping the balance and weight of the plane right. Oh, excuse me, Stansted Airport. I'm an idiot. So the aircraft departed from London's Stansted Airport on the morning of October 4th. And like I said, this plane can hold over 170 people.
Okay.
It took off on October 4th, carrying 11 crew members and just 9 passengers. And it just so happens that all 9 of these passengers were part of the tour company that worked with the aircraft's operating system, or operating company to do tours and stuff. But as they're riding along, passengers started complaining because it felt a lot noisier and a lot colder in the cabin than they expected it to be. They thought it should be. And so the crew started trying to look, see how they can make the passengers comfortable. They started moving around, looking what they could do to make maybe quiet, why it was so loud in here, why it was cold. And at around, I don't know, about 13,000 feet in the air, they found out that some windows were broke in the plane. In fact, a couple of them were missing in the airplane. And as they started to close in on 14,000 feet, the pilots decided they should probably reduce speed and stop their ascent. An engineer and co-pilot got up and went back to take a look at the window, and both immediately went, "Yes, we're turning around and landing."
Right.
Did that.
Ooh.
So looking at the plane from the ground, there's a window pane missing, and this was the one they found. They were looking at, ready to go back. Made them go back. So they're inspecting, and they also found a second window pane that was missing. A third was kind of dislodged, and a fourth window seemed to be kind of protruding out of its frame a little bit. And they found one of the shattered windows on the runway. After doing a little bit of inspection after all the hubbub with that. Now, I'm sure that's a little bit stressful.
Yeah.
The plane is like at 13,000 feet and have we found the problem. We're missing windows. And planes have had this kind of damage and have gone down because of it.
Oh boy.
Because of depressurizing and things like that.
Yeah.
Supposedly, this plane didn't depressurize. Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing, Remas. So, this plane had been filmed the day before. For, I don't know if it's for a movie, for a commercial, whatever. But they had high-powered floodlights pointed at the plane from about 20 feet away. for like 9 hours. One on one side, and then the other.
No.
To get the illusion of sunrise.
No.
That. It turns out that those bright lights had melted the foam liner on at least one of the windows, and seems to have been warped a few of the other windows from the heat by it.
That's why I hate flying. This is why I hate flying.
Yeah. Now, if you heard stories like this before, they usually end up here. The window went out. Somebody got sucked out of the plane. But like I said, this was they had just very few passengers. They had them all moved up away from the window. It just got cold and very loud in there. Yeah. So, they were apparently, because of the film shoot, they almost killed everybody in the plane, but everybody made it home safe.
I hope that commercial was worth it.
Or whatever it was, man. I don't know, but yes, I agree with you. Going through that. But I just thought that was a interesting little take on, what can happen in the safeties of flying.
Yeah.
And look, I love to fly. I love flying.
Glad you do, buddy.
I know some people do not like it.
I detest it with every fiber of my being.
And this does give some second thoughts through there. From the air saying, okay, right on.
Glad she's okay.
Excellent. Yeah. Apparently it wasn't this plane. Look at that.
Ooh.
Yeah. And weird stuff has happened. Like, things have happened with weird. In 2018, a passenger on a Southwest flight named Jennifer Riordan, she was killed when she partially got sucked out of a plane window. And that plane window had just been cracked by an exploded engine. The plane was fine, but she got killed because the window cracked. But for anybody who's got flying coming out, don't worry. I'm sure they won't be filming any other planes like this, surely, right? They don't use planes in movies like that.
Just ask before you get on your plane. Hey, was this used recently to film a movie or commercial?
I made a commercial with this plane, in film, a TV shot or something.
All right. Well,
knowing what I know, I'm thinking Stefford might be like. Let me think. Okay, so in Houston, there you got two airports, right?
Yeah.
You got Houston International. And
IAH.
Yeah, and then you got the one in Humble.
Yeah.
Which I think, is that like George Bush?
Yeah, George something. George Bush Continental, maybe.
But there's a few cities that have like two different airports. And there are usually one's international, one's not. But England's not that Bush yet. Okay.
Yeah,
cool.
George Bush Intercontinental.
I'm wondering, because I didn't know about Stedford. Like I said, I didn't know about Heathrow. I've actually been through Heathrow. I've never been through Stedford. But that was a story. I hope you don't have any flying to do soon.
Not if I can help it.
Okay, good deal.
Terra firma. That's where I like to be.
Fair enough.
All right. Well, let's throw it over to the outro then. Everybody who's like, we haven't done his assignment. Well, he's still working on Relicta.
Yeah, I'm playing Relicta. We're going to beat that game.
It seems to me, from watching the VOD, you have just about mastered the way those puzzles work, even though they keep tweaking things.
Yeah. I'm trying.
Seems to me like you're doing a good job.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. We'll beat it one day.
Then Thursday, we're talking Laos.
Yes.
Roger.
Type, yeah. Friday, working on Liza P some more, doing another long stream, trying to get that beat.
All right.
And then Monday we'll do some more Lotro.
Yes.
Riding around on our war steeds at max speed.
Yeah. Aren't you so happy?
Yeah. Look,
That's awesome.
my wolf
Steve-
sucks, but at least he makes me happy that he's there.
Yeah.
Come on, Trey.
We're working on it, Will. Working on it. Tuesday, we'll have another regular podcast. Next Wednesday, you might still be playing Relicted, but next Thursday, we'll be covering the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I miss you too, Dart.
Do it.
And then next Friday, hopefully, we'll be done with Liza P, and we'll be doing some Gundam. We'll see. I doubt it. Probably still be doing Liza P, but we'll see.
Up, Rundgren.
Do you have any plugs for
Back off. No, I just appreciate everybody watching, include even Will for that. I do appreciate. You know how I feel about you. Take thousands and thousands and thousands of years, millions and millions and millions of people to make you. Never been anything like you in the history of the universe, and there never will be again. So I really appreciate you spending time with us. Even Will.
Got a video that hopefully will come up in the morning if I can get it edited tonight on the new weapon beta for Guild Wars 2. Every class got one new weapon, changed the way they play, and recorded a bunch of footage on that today. So hopefully I'll get all that wrapped up.
Good
but
deal.
see.
Good deal.
All right. Well, until next time, then. I've been Rundgren.
No, I've been Rundgren. Threw me off.
And remember to, we've been the full spectrum. Remember to always enjoy the full spectrum. And life has to offer.